Hey guys, Felicity here from Felicity Fierce Cross Stitches. Today's Friday the 20th of April and I hope that you're all doing well. All of yous over in the US, I hope spring is slowly coming to you and that you're going to have less snowstorms soon. Meanwhile, here in South Australia, we've actually had a couple of warmer days lately and I'm looking forward to some cooler weather. Have lots to talk about to you today. I might have a finish. I have quite a few whips. I don't have a lot of cross stitch stash. I have some books to talk about, and then I have probably a large section about knitting. Not sure if I'll talk about it in this video or I'll separate it out. We'll see how we go. So my last regular update was the 9th of February. So it's been about 2 months since my last regular update where I've talked to you like this. But I did upload another video before that, which was my vlog video of the Winter Olympics, which was uploaded on the 3rd of March. So some of the projects you're going to see today I haven't worked on since the vlog, and then others of course I have. I have done quite a lot of Flosstube watching of other channels recently. However, I'm still catching up in the last couple of days because in the past 2 weeks we had the Commonwealth Games hosted up in Brisbane, and I was kind of watching those sports instead of watching Flosstube. So while I'm still catching up on that, I have done a lot of watching before. Some of the channels I have recently been watching, I've started from the beginning, watched through, was the Dittman sisters, so Laura and Nancy. Oh, they're amazing to listen to, and I love seeing all their projects and how they might stitch the same thing, but in completely different colorways. They both remind me actually of my Nana and her sisters and how they used to be together. Yeah, they're just really lovely to talk to. I'm glad to see that Amanda from Amanda Panda Stitching has come back and started doing some more videos. She deleted most of the videos before, so it's good to see her back and see what she's working on. Adelaide Cottage, she's mainly a knitting podcast but has just recently filmed 2 Flosstube videos and got back into cross stitch. I went through and watched all of her knitting videos, and I've been getting quite into knitting lately, as we'll go into later. There was Angela Meyer, I can't say her last name, I'll put it in the bit below here. Really enjoyed watching her videos. Animal Instant, she's another Aussie Flosstuber. Really want to get behind these Aussie Flosstubers and see how many more we can find. She released the first video recently. Ashley Wright, that was really interesting to see what she was working on. Artful Stitchery, so she had been doing lots of crafty work as well as just recently uploading some new videos. I finally caught up on Blitz Stitch. Brian, where have I been? Just where have I been? His diagonal stitching, yeah, it's amazing. The technique, I might be trying it soon. Bolgona Stitches, she's pretty new, about 5 or 6 videos. Bonnie Dedor has been doing heaps of projects. Hopefully she'll come back with another video. I've been catching up with Julie from Gulf Coast Stitcher. I haven't caught up with most recent videos, Commonwealth Games, but I'll catch up and I can't wait to see some more from her. And I've just been watching videos from A Stitch in Time, so Jill. I don't know why I haven't subscribed to her or watched her before, so slowly catching up on all these people. I'll get there. There's still some regulars that I keep watching. But yeah, no, had a bit of time recently. So in my life, basically life update. Well, I think I might have talked about this in my first update video, but I didn't receive a contract for teaching at the beginning of the year. So basically for this first term, technically I was unemployed. However, partway through the term, I picked up relief teaching at one particular school. So relief teaching is where you wait for a phone call to see if someone's either away because of an excursion or illness, and you come in and you pick up their classes and you follow their schedule. So basically from the first part of the term, I wasn't buying any stash, I wasn't buying this or that because I had no money coming in. Then I had some I would pick up probably 4 or 5 weeks worth of relief work. Some weeks it would be 4 days a week, sometimes it would be 2 or 3. Depends what happens. But no, I've had some work now, and then a couple of days ago I've actually found out that I do have a part-time contract for next coming term. So starting first week back, which is the 30th of April, I'm doing teaching, still doing teaching, so 0.5, so I have 3 classes and I'm only at the school for 2-3 days a week. But that's better than nothing, and I also have the opportunity to pick up some more relief work. So that's for the term coming up. Alright, so let's head on and actually look at some stitching. Well, some of you might know what I'm going to talk about, but I had a pretty big finish. Yep, I had a big finish. Most of you have probably seen either via Instagram or Facebook, but I finished Elsa by Dittman. It's a heaven and earth design. So what I've actually done today is that she's had a wash and she's also been ironed. So she's ready to go to the framers. I just need to kidnap my niece for an afternoon and take her. But yeah, here she is in all of her glory. And we're going to have to stand up and move back for this one. So, as we can see, this is Elsa. And I'm going to scan up and up and up and up. And I can't see what I'm doing. And up, 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 up. Yep. Here we go. So that very last page is done. I can't remember where I was up to when I last saw her, but I did work on her during the Winter Olympics, but she is done. So the details. She is stitched on 22 count, 2/1, with, I swapped out the Krienik that was involved with 32 braid, number 4 braid, for Petite Treasure braid. So if you can see in here, she's really glittery. Oh, that is coming up. Wow. She is actually really glittery. So I did Petite Treasure braid number 10, so it's the pearl color, instead in 1 strand over 1/1, compared to the DMC 2/1. All the other colors in here is DMC. So just show you where you haven't probably seen recently is a lot of this page down here. So you can see that snowflake. So that snowflake is just a sea of creams, greens and greys, and it makes a snowflake somehow. Michelle, your charting from Heaven Earth Designs is amazing. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, no, she is done, absolutely done and ready to go to the framers. I just need to get my notes in a bit, but I'm going to just quickly show you my backside. She's actually pretty neat. Yeeks. Pretty neat. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. Really happy to have her done. Oh my god, I was so excited. I kind of just, when I finished her, I was just sitting in my chair and just going like this, Mum and Dad. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Really happy to finish her. So, some details about Miss Elsa. I started her either the 11th or 12th of May in 2015. Yep, you heard correctly. 2015. And the last stitch was put into her on the 2nd of April 2018. So technically that was 1,056 days, or 2 years and 10 months and 21 days. So long time. But to start off with, when I first started stitching these pages across here, I didn't just stitch solidly on her. I was probably doing some other projects as well. And then probably when I got to down here to her forehead and her eyes, that's when I've just really started stitching on her mainly for the last couple of 2 years or so. But yeah, doesn't she look amazing? I can't get her in the frame. Can't get her in all at once. I'll insert a photo of what she looks like all at once somewhere in here. But just look at those eyes. Right, we're going to have to close up on those eyes. See if we can get close up. Yeeks. Oh, I'm just so happy she is done. As I said, she's for my niece Chloe. So I'm going to take Chloe to the framers with me. And we're going to decide on what type of frame we want. I'm thinking we're probably going to put a purple mat around the edge. Probably not a big one, just a small one. A small purple mat around the edging. And then I'm not quite sure what colour will go from there. But she is very sparkly, as you can see, especially in these cream areas. Yep, you can still see that sparkle. I'm really happy that's coming out. Sparkle doesn't normally come out really well on this camera. But no, she's done. Absolutely done. And that means I've got 2 finishes for this year. So she's a really big finish compared to some of the others I've had. She's a really big finish. So I've had Elsa finished, and then that Peter Rabbit for my cousin, which hasn't been turned into an FFO yet, but soon. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased that she's done. She's been with me for 3 schools so far as stress relief. I started out stitching her using a Q-snap, and that was okay to start off with, but I had this miles of fabric, just miles and miles of fabric, trying to keep that under control. She went with me overseas to Fiji on the Q-snap. That was like the very top row of where her hair was. Then about 2.5 years ago, I bought a quantum frame with a Monstick stand. Can't say the stand name. And I bought the 90 centimeter long bars this way and the 15 centimeter stretcher bars. And she'd been living on that for the last 2 years, and that's when, 1.5 years, that's when most of my progress has actually come, was through that. I've washed her today in a little bit of washing, lukewarm water and a bit of washing detergent, whatever you call it, and then rolled her in a towel, and then I spent quite a lot of time this afternoon just ironing her dry. Thanks, Jessie. You were part of my afternoon while I was ironing her Elsa. But no, she looks amazing. I've got most of the creases out. There are still some creases there from some of the pages, but I'm sure the framer will be able to stretch them out. They're not that noticeable, only when the light hits it in one particular way. Then once she's framed, she is going to be entered into the Royal Adelaide show, which is in September, so I need to hurry up and get her framed, and then enter her in probably, what was it, July, August? I need to look at that. Remind me to look into that. I don't care if she wins, like, it'd be nice, but honestly, I just want to show her off. She's gorgeous and such a modern piece of cross stitch. What I have now is technically you're going to get given a whip parade. I have worked on every single project of mine since my last video, mainly blame the Winter Olympics. I don't have that many projects as other people do, but I was able to wingle them in. You can go and watch my video. There is probably one project that didn't get in there, but yeah. So let's start off with my other Heaven Earth design. There's probably one project that didn't get in there, but yeah. So let's start off with my other Heaven Earth design. This is Quick Stitch by Once Upon a Time by Aimee Stewart. Compared to Elsa, there's not a lot done. Yeah, as you can see, not a lot done. I've got page 1 done, and I've started to work on page 2. I haven't done a lot of page 2. You've probably seen a little bit more there from previously, but that's going to get rectified. But next week we're going away to Kangaroo Island, which is one of the islands just off the coast of South Australia. It's actually where my mum grew up. She and her sister, my aunt, grew up over there because my grandfather was a soldier settler, and there's a reunion, so we're heading over there from Tuesday to Sunday next week, and I'm going to take this one and work on that then. So that's one of my upcoming plans. I've also signed up to the 60-day Heaven and Earth Design Challenge, where you stitch on either 2 pieces for 30 days or 1 day, 1 piece in total for 60 days. I'm going to do this one. It's the only other Heaven and Earth design I actually have started so far. and I'd like to see how much I can get done on this before starting a new one. I do know which one I'm probably going to start next though. I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, so hopefully to get some more of that one done. This one I think should be a little bit less confetti wise than Elsa, but it's also way different colours, so really happy to do that. Yeah, can't wait. And it's again still on 22 count. It's not on hardanger because that one was on really soft. Elsa was on a really soft fabric. This one's slightly thicker, but we'll get it done and we'll work on it. Next is a restart. You've seen this one before. This is my Seashell Treasures by Dimensions. This one here, I do have a cover picture. I will put in a cover picture of the other one somewhere. So I'm stitching, this is, as you probably already know, this is a restart. The kit came with the 18 count Ada. I hated it. So I'm actually restarting this, done this on 32 count Lugana by Color Cascades in old map style, Golddigger. And I've actually got quite a lot done. Do I need to put something behind that? Okay. So I'll put in a photo of where it was up to last time. Can't remember. But you can probably see a lot of my progress on this one in my Winter Olympics vlog. I haven't picked it up since then, but there's just, I love this. I love working on the 32 count Lugana. You might have me convinced to swap from Ada. I love all the colours that are coming out. And you've got full stitches, you've got half stitches in 1, 2 or 3 strands. Just really bringing out all the different bits. I think I used the starfish as one of the animal challenges. Got these purples coming out. Just really happy with them. Is it focusing? There we go. Really happy with what I can find, what I'm doing. I chose this colour because I wanted it to look like a beach colour. And yeah, I'm going to have quite a lot of fabric around it. And I'm going to get this framed, or I might even try and frame it myself. And then that will get given to my aunt for her house down at Goolwa. Yeah, no, so that's 2 projects and 1 finish. This one you haven't seen us for a while, but you did see in my Winter Olympics Stitch Mania vlog. I will insert a photo of what it should look like, or what it didn't look like in total. But this is my Fantasy Castle number 2 from StitchX Designs. So I worked on this page up here, which I've actually basically completed it. There are a couple of stitches in there that you can see have not been filled in because I misplaced my bobbin of 3766. Could not find it for the life of me in my master bobbins, in this or that. So I actually went out and bought another skein and just wound it up. So I just need to go back in and restitch that. And then I have 2 more pages here till this bit's completed. These pages aren't as big as Heaven Earth Design pages. So won't actually get my head around it and put some more, not my head around it. When I get back on track in the mood to stitch on it, it won't take me long to get through it. I've been doing the parking. It's stitched on 18 count white Ada, and you can see there's a beginning of the ship starting here. So I'm quite looking forward to getting the ship done. There's going to be a heap more sky over here and eventually a castle. But I might just keep that as one that a travel project or something like that, not quite sure. But I really want to get that one worked on as well. Now, I have one last project that I've been working on. I've worked on this for the last 2-3 weeks since I finished Elsa. This is my Mirabilia design. It's still up on my frame, so we'll see how we go. So this is Roses of Provence by Mirabilia, and I'm stitching it on 32 count Lugana, I think. It's some type of even weave called Dryscapes from Sewitall in Australia, and I've actually done quite a lot of progress. I'll insert a photo somewhere so you can see where I've been up to, but I've done a lot of the white in here, basically up from in here, and I've done all of this across. I am loving this. absolutely loving working on her. Her dress is huge though. The dress up the top is completed. So all I need to go back into is actually fill in her body and do her head and the flowers. But the dress comes down even further. So she's really pretty. Once I get this video uploaded and edited, I'm going to continue working on her. I haven't worked on her for a couple of days lately because I've been obsessed with knitting something, and I'll come back into that later. But I love the purples and the pinks. I've exchanged out for my 60 centimeter quantum long frame things, and this one is the 10 centimeter sidebars, which for working on a Mirabilia design at the moment, really good, easy to use, and I'm loving it. So my plan is to try and finish out the bottom of the dress, and we'll go from there. So that's what I've been working on, and that's what my whips are so far. As I said, my plans are to work on my roses until we go away on Tuesday, and then Tuesday is the day that the 60 Heaven Earth Designs Challenge starts as well. So then I'll just probably keep working on my Heaven Earth design, but I might swap out a couple of projects, like keep work at least putting some stitches in my Heaven Earth design one, but then keep that one out just as a bit of change. Alright, so for stash, I haven't, as I said, other than 1 or 2 skeins of floss, I haven't bought very much because of lack of work. But I have decided to still keep up my Colour Cascades Fabric of the Month club. I also did do an order which I know has shipped with Colour Cascades from the sale that was in February. It was only shipped yesterday, so you'll probably know my luck arrived Monday. But you'll see that in the next video. But what I will show you is my Colour Cascades Fabric of the Month. Alright, so for the Colour Cascades Fabric of the Month, I always get a, what is it, a 18 by 26 cut, and all of these are on a 32 count Lugana. So this one here was January's, and it is called Golden Touch, is that right? Yep, Golden Touch. So it's a nice pink colour with a couple shades of gold put through. Let's see if we can get the colour right. There we go, it's a little, that's better. So yeah, you can see you've got the pink through, you've got some shades. I think it might be nice for a pixie, or I don't know, a Mirabilia pixie. We'll see, but I'm really enjoying this. It's really pretty. I could think of many things I could stitch on it. Really enjoy that fabric. This one here is March's, and it is a no name. There's no name for this one, but it's like a greeny yellow. Honestly, not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But something will come along. Maybe a silhouette design, maybe a long dog, or something like that. It's just one colour. But it's really, really like a greeny yellow. Really greeny yellow. Yeah, it's a bit more green in the photo. It's a bit more yellow in real life. Evening light. Never really works. Yeah, no, I quite like it. It's really pretty, and not sure what I'll stitch on it yet, but I'm sure I'll find something. I did have one more thing to show you. I think it's in my study, but I'll insert a photo that I'll take of it. I received some Stitcher kindness from Aussie Stitcher. She was giving away some patterns out of a magazine that she'd torn out earlier, and I received the Eeyore pattern. I am an absolutely Disney nut, as many of you probably already know. And so I'm actually amazed that I won that one, and I love it so much. I will stitch it soon, not quite sure when, but I will. It will get used. But yeah, that was the only other stashy thing I got for cross stitch. What I might do now is might just swap topics and we'll talk a little bit about books. I've always been a major reader. I haven't talked much about books on here before, but I'm a major reader. My bookshelves in my room are completely full and things like that. I haven't had the reading bug for the last 2 or 3 years, but people have been recommending this book or this book on their channels, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I love reading fantasy and fiction, and I do like some historical fiction as well. So people who've been recommending books, I think, are like Jessie Marie and Michelle from Bendy Stitches. So I picked up the Alice Network, and that was amazing to read. I really enjoyed reading that. I also picked up A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, and that trilogy. Wow. I think I read that in like two or 3 days in a weekend, the whole series. Luckily my library was able to get them all in at once, and I was able to read them pretty quickly. I loved that series. It was really interesting to see how you had the mixture of Earth, like our world, mixed in with witches and vampires and some hidden tricks and things like that. But I have to say, I do like more fantasy books that have got their own world developed. And I have found the world of Sarah J Maas, her books, and the Selena trilogy series. Holy moly. I love that book so far, that series so far. I've read The Throne of Glass, and continuing on, I think the last one I read was Empire of Fire. And holy moly, the end of that is like a punch in the gut. I loved the books. I couldn't put them down. The first one I read, I was able to get through paper copy from my library. And the others I was reading on the Overdrive app. And yeah, I couldn't stop reading them. But the ending of Empire, the last one before the Tower of Dawn, is a punch in the gut. Just real punch in the gut. So I can't wait to read the next one that's coming out, I think, sometime this year. I do have A Tower of Dawn and the Assassin's Blade, which I think is the prequel, ready to read, to pick up from the library, so I can read that next week when we're over in KI. Because in KI, I'm not going to have any internet, I'm not going to have any signal. So stitching and reading might be my only comforts. But yeah, no, that was just my mini section of books, and yeah, read that series about the Throne of Glass series. Oh, I can't wait to read it, to see the end one. I do have her other series on my phone ready to read as well. But yeah, no, once I get into a reading, I can read a book in probably a day or so. But no, really enjoying that. Whoever recommended that to me in the first place, oh, just give me shivers. Love that. Love the series. Love the style of the reading. Wasn't hardcore fantasy, which I do love reading hardcore fantasy and adult fantasy. But it was not as young adult, it was young adult, but it was not as some childish fantasy that I have read previously. So it was a good mixture in between. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my knitting part into another video, which you'll probably see in the same night and things like that. And I'm going to leave off with books and cross stitching in this one. You'll find out, but the knitting, we had a Fibre Fest here held in Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, and I really want to talk about that in quite a lot of detail. So if you want to check out my knitting video, go across and I'll see you then. If not, thank you for watching. Thank you again who has subscribed to my video, who leaves all the lovely, lovely comments. I try to reply as many comments as I can. If I've missed yours, I'm sorry. I'm happy to answer any questions. Anytime, let me know. And yeah, I'm really glad to be part of this community. I hope to film another video soon. It depends. I like filming when parents are out of the house, like they are tonight. And yeah, we might have some more progress coming up, might not. But yeah, hope to talk to you soon. Hope that you're all starting to warm up or cool down, regardless of where you are in the world. And happy stitching. Bye.